Welcome to Life with Hair. My name is James Atkinson. Thank you very much for choosing to join into this week's episode. Now, in this week's episode, we have got Shona back. Now, some of you may have seen the episode where Shona was having her hair turned from blonde to copper. And we did that for a few reasons. The condition was a little bit damaged and we wanted to really bring the life back into it and make it look healthy again, feel healthy again. So quite a few people in the comment section said, we'd love to see a recap or a future episode with Shona in it, and so that you guys can see how her hair's come along in that time. Now, how long has it been now? 6 months?
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
About that long. So it's been about 6 months since we did it. I want to show you what's happened to Shona's hair now. We've just brushed it out, so it's in the worst of its possible state at the moment. But actually, before we turned it copper, quite often this was how it looked all the time, because actually Shona didn't realise how curly your hair is, did you?
Yeah, the curls have come back.
Yeah, it's super curly. So we'll show you that at the end once we've dried it and all the rest of it. We'll diffuse it naturally so that you guys can see how much actually the curl had returned. And if we look at the side of Shona's head here now, this was very much what we'd see of Shona's hair all the time. Quite frizzy, even if she didn't brush it out, the curl retention wasn't good. So I'm going to give you a little close-up of Shona's hair. So if we look into the root area here, I've refreshed this probably 3 times or maybe 4 times, do you think?
Yeah, with direct colours.
With direct colours. So we've done the roots a couple of times, but we've mostly used direct dye to refresh these ends. And you may remember, if you saw that episode, I actually used direct dye over the top of the original colour to help retain some of the colour longevity. Now, this is how it generally fades up into this kind of golden blonde, which Shona actually quite likes when that happens. So it, gives it sort of a slight ombre effect, which I really like too, and I think that looks really good on Shona's hair texture, especially when it's curly and it's all diffused and it's looking great. And you can see in here, obviously, the texture and the quality of the hair is better than, say, at the crown area here, where the hair was struggling a little bit from some breakage. But it's grown so much in that time. If I pick up this piece of hair here, that was really short previously. And I have trimmed it in the meantime as well, just to try and bring it all back together. So let's get the colour on. So I'm going to explain a little bit what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a permanent colour on the root here. And I'm going to use a level 6 copper with 20 volume, just to expose the warmth, match up to this. I'm going to drag it a little bit, just so that it blends in, and then I'm going to refresh the ends with a direct dye crazy colour. So we've got pretty much worked our way through the entire root section here, but I just wanted to share with you one little trick that I do to help blend the colour through, and that is when I apply the back side of my section, I just flick the brush up slightly. So I dab the top side, and then when I paint the back side of the section, like so, I just brush up and flick, and it just helps to distribute the product through the hair with a little bit more softness. So just dab, dab, dab that side, and because I'm painting both sides of each section, I'm getting maximum coverage. I'm not taking very thick sections either, and that's one of the things that a lot of new stylists struggle with in terms of getting the colour to saturate well, is that their sections get too thick, especially like bleaching and lifting processes. I come across that an enormous amount when I'm working with newer stylists. So if you're a newer stylist and you're struggling with saturation, make sure that those sections you're taking are super, super fine. In fact, you want to be able to still see the colour that you apply to the top of the section when you lift up the section beneath. So I'll just show you that one more time. I've applied it to this side. My section's thin enough that I can still see the colour that I just applied to the top of this section, and then I can just use this to feather it up. And if you look at the top of this section now, you can see how that's a little bit more dispersed randomly throughout the section, and that helps to encourage the blend of the roots to the existing colour a little bit more as well. Okay, so once I've finished applying the tint all the way through, then what I like to do is grab my comb and just give it a little comb through to help stretch out the product a little bit further down. And it's just, this is a really gentle process. This is not like a root stretch. This is comb with the teeth horizontal to the head and just pull the product down a little bit. And it helps even out distribution. It helps to blend the product together as we're doing a more melted kind of ombre effect on this hair. As you can see, it's slightly lighter towards the ends. You can see still some of the shorter hair, but the condition of the existing new hair is just so much better. It's going to grow really nicely. Shona would like to grow her hair quite long eventually, so I'm going to help her with that journey. But you can just see, just working through that section just takes a few seconds. It makes such a big difference to how the colour will come out. So just refreshing the ends now with direct dye, as we have been all along during this process of keeping their hair as healthy as possible. One of the things about taking your clients on these type of journeys is that, you know, the least colour you can put on their hair, the least actual colour you can put on their hair, the better. 100%, you know, because in reality, any permanent colour that you put onto the damaged hair will cause yourself some more issues. Now, you know, in terms of the way that we're going to treat this hair over a fairly long period of time is like porcelain. You know, we really don't want it to come under any undue duress or strain from using any kind of permanent colour. The root area is fine, you know, because we're just putting onto the root area and we're overlapping it slightly onto the healthy hair, but we're not taking it through towards these ends. The only thing that's going on these ends is this direct dye. I've used 2 shades of copper here, so I'm using a kind of more orangey one on some sections and a slightly more reddy one on others, just to mix it up a little bit and keep it interesting for Shona, because it can be quite boring growing your hair out, especially if you're used to being blonde, if your client's used to being blonde. And one of the things that you said, Shona, was that Shona was used to being really bright and blonde, and that was kind of her thing, and she sometimes put pink over her hair. But this was a good colour for you because you felt still quite bright, didn't you?
Yeah.
And so some of your clients that, you know, you may deal with who have got blonde damaged hair, copper might be a good shout in terms of them feeling still quite bright and interesting, and, you know, their colour's interesting. But, you know, and a lot of people, when they're blonde, they want to just go straight to brown, or they think going straight to brown is the operative option. But, you know, if people have got fairly pale skin tones, and the copper shades do suit them really well. So it could be a good option, and maybe one that you've not necessarily thought of yourself if you're watching this, in terms of, you know, offering stuff to your clients. I really love coppers. In fact, a lot of my clients are coppers. Most of my clients are either copper or blonde. And I think it's just one of those really wonderful colours that actually brings a lot of people's skin tones to life. So I'm going to finish applying this front section. But remember, direct dyes are such a good option in this sense because, you know, there's a very low commitment. So even if the client decides, okay, well, I really don't like being copper, as you see, it fades out fairly blonde easily anyway. So don't let that be the deciding factor. Everything's on now. We'll let that cook. And as I mentioned previously, we've done a couple of different shades. And now the good thing about doing that is that it makes it more interesting for the client, because in reality, they could top up these direct dyes at home very easily. They're very accessible. But obviously, coming to the salon means they have to pay substantially more than they would just to throw it on their hair at home. So do bear in mind that if you offer them something a little different, a little quirky, something interesting, there's a good chance they'll come back to you to have these colours done rather than ending up doing it themselves at home. They may still top it up at home themselves, and don't berate anybody that does. But in the reality of it all is that if you can offer something a little unique, a little different, a little bit more perspective, then they'll probably come to you to get it done anyway. Okay, ladies and gents, this is the finished result. As you can see, the curl is amazing. We were just discussing as I was drying it how beautiful the curls are on Shona's hair. And they'd really completely disappeared previously when it was really bleached. The colour, beautiful coppery red shade. I'll show you some close-up of the root area that we use the permanent colour on. And I love this on Shona. And as I've mentioned previously, for blondes, this might be a little bit out there to start with, but introducing them slowly using copper shades and integrating them into maybe more reddy coppers, knowing that these direct dyes fade so quickly, is a really great way of kind of introducing them into something else. letting the hair condition resolve itself. Because in reality, yes, we can do all of these Plex treatments and bonders and builders and all the rest of it, but when the hair becomes too damaged, it's game over. So for me, it's just a case then of going on a journey with them, explaining to them that, you can't keep doing the bleach roots, the highlights, whatever it is that's causing all of these problems. Shona loves this because it's bright and it's bubbly and it's like her personality. It really, really reflects who she is. And I think she actually looks better now with this colour hair than she did with blonde. It's not obviously down to me, it's her hair. I'm sure at some stage in her life she'll be blonde again. But for now, while we grow the hair out, while we recover the condition, I absolutely love coppers and reds as that transition colour, and it stops that feeling of like the boring brown, dull thing that people can feel when they've been blonde for a really long time. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode, you've taken away something from it with you. We'll probably see Shona again for some highlights in about a year's time. So hang on for that one. Thank you for being a model, Shona. And we'll see you guys again next week for another episode of Life of Hair.